Initial thoughts on your first preseason game last Saturday?
Yeah, it was definitely exciting getting out there and getting to play a live game against a different opponent and kind of getting to put some of the technique and stuff I've been working on into play. And now go back on that first game and watch the film and see the things that went well and didn't go so well.
When you're sitting there in your locker getting ready to go, you see your pads and everything, just and your jersey hanging there. Just what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, it's incredibly special. I think for me, the more special moment was kind of stepping out of that tunnel onto the field for the first time. My first time ever being inside SoFi, and that's a pretty impressive stadium, and kind of stepping in there and just kind of taking it in for that first experience. And I'm glad it was the way it was because it was really special for me, and I really appreciate that. That's a core memory for me.
Joe, is it what you expected it to be, even though obviously preseason?
The game? Yeah, it is exactly what I expected. I think, when it comes down to it, we're all competitors when we go out there, so it's going to be full throttle the whole time, and we're going to be out there competing, and someone's winning and someone's losing. So at the end of the day, it's a game. Even if it's a preseason game, it's still a football game, and we're all competitive and trying to go out there and win our job. So I think so.
You were out there for a bit. As the game went on, were there things you kind of picked up and learned, during the game?
Yeah, I think I think there's tendencies you kind of learn from the defense, what you're going to see, and you watch film, but every game's different, and every defensive coordinator schemes a certain offense differently, so you kind of get to pick up on what they're feeling, what they're sensing, and how they're rushing me as an individual specifically, and kind of get a feel for the game. So I think as the game goes on, you kind of become more settled down and kind of not predict, but kind of have a better idea of what's going to happen in the future.
Looking back at the film, now days later, how did you kind of assess your play, or did you get a solid evaluation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always my harshest critic, so I always see things that I gotta clean up and work on. And in my opinion, the job is never done. There's always things I'm gonna be tweaking and trying to improve every single day. From if it's a game, if it's a practice, if it's a walkthrough, there's always things that you're trying to sharpen up, so you can just try to get a little bit better every single day.
Joe, I know he's missed a little time here, but when Ladd McConkey's been out there, what have you thought of him?
Yeah, I'm really close with Ladd. Obviously both being rookies when he came in, and I think he's a heck of a player, and he's going to do some special things this season. And I just loved watching him when he's been out there and getting that work in. And I think he's an extreme competitor, and he works extremely hard at his craft.
What has Coach Devlin meant for you?
Yeah. Coach Devlin really is coached me hard and coached me well, and I think that's been huge for me. He really takes the time to analyze everything I do and give me thoughts that maybe I'm not thinking about so much, or those same coaching points that really just kind of honing in and watching the film and being specific with me, because I think I learn very specifically, and I learn things more directly, and I think he knows that, and I think it's been going really well for him so far.
Having Coach Upati and Coach Hardwood, former players on staff as well, and helping, just what has that kind of meant to have other voices like that in the room?
Yeah, I think with all three coaches, it's cool because it's kind of like me and my dad's relationship, where they've played the game, so they have that in-game experience, which is, I think it's really special and it's really important because they know what you've been through. So being able to have that and have people who've played, recently, and then more back where my dad played, and having that and being able to have their thoughts and how they played the game, and being able to listen to them and see how they approach has been really important for me.
Comes to being your harshest critic, was it more technique things or tendency things that upset you?
Yeah, it's always technique things. For me, I'm trying to be a perfect technician at all times. I think that's something that I try to control 100%, and it's never going to go 100% correctly, but that's something that I want to have 100% down, in my position, balance, whatever it is, hand placement, feet, whatever it is, I always want to be 100% on that stuff, so that's always the things I'm, critiquing.
How has your relationship grown with Trey? Since he's going to be right guard, your right tackle. Just what's your relationship been like?
Yeah, our relationship's great. I think it's really strong. He was the first person I really spoke to when I stepped in the building back in May. So our relationship's grown a ton since then. I think our communication on the field has grown as well, and I think we're really getting a good sense of how each other play. And just every day, it's just kind of just fine-tuning things and how we place into double teams and how we're communicating in pass pro and stuff like that. So it's a constant thing we're trying to improve just so we can get it 100% by game time.
Do you remember anything unique from Saturday in the sense of trash talk maybe thrown your way or anything unique like that?
I don't think there was any trash talk thrown my way, to be honest. I think it was a pretty quiet game. I'm not one to trash talk. I'm always just kind of trying to stay in my own head and just be quiet. So there wasn't much trash talking over on my side, at least.
Oh, I didn't know if somebody threw it at you.
No one threw it at me, and I didn't throw it at anybody. I'm not one of those guys. That's not my best game, so I don't do that.
What's the main thing you're looking for Saturday facing the Rams?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just to continue to get a little bit better. You know, another opportunity to go up against a live opponent and take those things from the last game and these last practices that I've had, and just try to show them in a live, a live game situation where I've shown improvement on those things I'm trying to work on.
3 weeks in, are you where you thought you would be, ahead, behind?
Yeah, I think I don't really look at it that way. I think I always just try to improve from the day before. So I don't think I really had a goal in mind with where I wanted to be. I think I'm just always trying to improve day by day, and I think I'm doing a good job at that at the moment.
And just as far as offense, starting offensive line as a whole, how's that been, just trying to mold everyone together? And you guys feel like you're a little bit behind now because Bradley's working his way through something? Or?
I think our communication is very good. I think we have a great communication off the field, in the meeting room and what we're going to see on the field. And I think we've done a great job being able to communicate that on the field as well. And I think we're growing just like we should be as a unit. And I think it's going to continue to go that way as we progress through this training camp.